Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well on this Saturday morning or whenever you view this. We're going to continue on with our heavyweight boxing tournament using Title Bout Championship Boxing for the PC. And this is bout number 23 of our tournament. And the contestants will be Lennox Lewis from England versus Francesco Damiani of Italy. The bouts will be simulated using Title Bout Championship Boxing. The boxers were drawn using a Google number randomizer for all bouts. We will avoid fights that actually took place to the best of our ability. A link to BoxRec is provided in a list of the fighters in the tournament on the page if you'd like to do some research. Once again, this is bout number 23 of our heavyweight tournament. I will have nothing to do with the strategies. I am only giving you my radio call as you watch the simulation. And once again, this is Lennox Lewis versus Francesco Damiani, scheduled for 15 rounds of boxing from Wembley Stadium. So Lennox Lewis comes into this contest with a record of 41 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 32 via the stoppage. Francesco Damiani, 30 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 24 by stoppage. And let's take a look at their boxer cards. So Lennox Lewis from England stands at 6'5", has a reach of 84 inches. He will weigh in at 230 pounds for this bout. Lewis won the Olympic super heavyweight title in 1988 by stopping Riddick Bowe. He won that gold medal for Canada. He was European heavyweight champion, British heavyweight champion, Commonwealth heavyweight champion, and held all the major title belts, such as the WBC, IBF, and WBA. Lewis represented Canada in the Olympics in 1984 and 88, and as I stated, won the gold medal for Canada in 1988 by defeating Riddick Bowe. Bowe would throw away one of his titles, so not to face Lennox Lewis in the professional ranks. Big wins for Lennox Lewis over his illustrious career. Ozzie Ocasio, Mike Weaver, Glenn McQuarrie, Tony Tucker, Frank Bruno, Tommy Morrison, Ray Mercer, Oliver McCall, Henry Akinwande, Shannon Briggs, Evander Holyfield, Hasim Rotman, Mike Tyson, and Vitali Klitschko. His 2 losses came by stoppage. Oliver McCall and Hasim Rotman both stopped Lennox Lewis, but Lewis would avenge both those KOs via knockout. And let's go to his boxing card. Lennox Lewis can fight as either a boxer or a slugger. He will foul on occasions, does not like to fight on the inside. Excellent fighting outside, 4 out of 4. Covering up, 4 out of 4. Go for the knockout, 3 out of 4. Clinches at a 68 rate. Drawing power, tremendous, 10 out of 10. Conditioning, sometimes he's not in the best shape. Intellect, 8 out of 10. Proficiency, 10 out of 10. It's just how well he does what he does. Control factor versus a boxer, 13. Control factor versus a slugger, 11. The higher the number, the better. Control factor, all that means is who will dictate the pace of the round and the bout. Has a good chin, but he is susceptible to a knockdown and a knockout, as both of his losses have come via the stoppage. Killer instinct is an 8. Aggressiveness is a 6. Defense, -2. That takes away 2 punches landed from his opponent. He likes to work off the jab. He has a very good straight right hand, the cross, and he likes to hit you with that uppercut when holding you at the back of the head. Ask Michael Grant. It's probably his favorite punch on the inside, the uppercut. Hitting power 10. Overall rating, he is a 12. The best you can be is 15, so that's a tremendous fighter, Lennox Lewis, as we all know if you've watched boxing. He'll be the favorite here at Wembley. It's going to be an uphill battle for Francesco Damiani, and let's take a look at Damiani's boxer card from Italy. Damiani stands at 6'3". He did not want to be measured for his reach. He will weigh in at 230 pounds also. Francesco Damiani was WBO champion. He was the first WBO champion. He knocked out South African Johnny Duploy. He also held the European title. He was a silver medalist in the 1984 Olympics for Italy. He lost to Terrell Biggs. He would avenge that loss in the professional ranks by stopping Biggs. Some of his more prestigious wins: Eddie Grigg, James Broad, Anders Uckland, Terrell Biggs, Johnny Duploy, and Greg Page. His 2 losses via the stoppage: Ray Mercer in Atlantic City defeated him, 9th round knockout. I remember watching that on pay-per-view. It was a blizzard where I lived and also in Atlantic City. Damiani was, go back and watch it, he was well ahead on the scorecards and actually was fighting quite well. And then Mercer hit him on the schnozola and down went Damiani and the fight was over. Oliver McCall, that was Damiani's last fight, really just picked him apart. And a good win for Oliver McCall there. Let's go to Damiani's ratings on his boxer card. He too can fight as either a boxer or a slugger. Does not like to fight on the inside like Lennox Lewis, and ironically his puncher choice on the inside is an uppercut. He usually likes to dig one shot to the body and come quickly up to the head with the uppercut and try to walk the other fighter back. He likes to fight on the outside, 4 out of 4, covering up 3 out of 4, go for the knockout, 2 out of 4. Not really a big puncher. Drawing power, not much of a draw in his day. That's intellect 8, proficiency 10, eerily close and similar to Lennox Lewis. Not the better fighter though. Control factor versus a boxer or slugger, 9s. So Lennox Lewis either way should be dictating the pace of this bout. Damiani's 2 defeats came via stoppage, though I believe he was only down once in his career, and that was to Ray Mercer when he got knocked out. He quit on his stool against Oliver McCall after taking a good lumping throughout the fight. Killer instinct, 7 out of 7. Aggressiveness, 7. Endurance, 8. Again, a good defensive fighter, -2, just like Lennox Lewis. He likes to work off his jab, throw combinations. Both excellent amateurs, so this could be a good, tough matchup. Lewis is favored, and his overall rating is an 8. Let's get to ringside and start the bout. So in Lennox Lewis's corner, Emmanuel Stewart, the trainer, cutman Al Galvin. In Francesco Damiani's corner, I've assigned the cutman and the trainer. Angelo Dundee is his trainer. Eddie Aliano is his cutman. Fight options, 15 rounds, Wembley Stadium. Michael Buffer is the announcer. John Coyle from England is the referee. The fight will be a draw until 50% of the bout is scored. The 3 judges will do the scoring. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect, a mandatory 8 count, 10-point must system. You can never be saved by the bell, and the referee or doctor can stop the fight. The judges, Mickey Vann from England, Larry Hazard of the United States of America, and Tony Perez from Puerto Rico. A huge crowd here at Wembley Stadium. As we stated, Lennox Lewis can fight as either a boxer or a slugger. 13 control factor versus a boxer, 11 versus a slugger. He will be dictating the pace of this bout. Either way, Damiani, 9 for each, slugger or boxer. Lewis has the overwhelming advantage in punching power, 76 to 53. Endurance, even at 80. Both men will at times tire in fights. Defense, again, people might be surprised, but Damiani was an excellent defensive fighter, as well as Lewis, both at 66%. Hand speed, edge, good edge once again to Lennox Lewis, 79 to 62. And tactical skills, again, a big edge for Lennox Lewis. Damiani can be distracted, 78 to 57. Tactical skills are how well a fighter carries out instructions from his corner and how also he trained to fight the fight. Bubba Husky's at ringside. How are you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. As he says, is this going to last longer than the last one? I don't know. It's boxing, my friend. You never know. That was a surprise, that last fight. So here's Lewis once again. 41, 2-1, 32 by stoppage. Damiani, 32-0, 24 by stoppage. Emmanuel Stewart, the trainer. Al Galvin, the cutman for Lennox Lewis. Angelo Dundee, trainer. Eddie Aliano, the cutman for Francesco Damiani. Michael Buffer, the ring announcer. There's beautiful Wembley Stadium with the boxing ring in the middle. John Coyle, the referee. Judges Mickey Van, Larry Hazard, and Tony Perez. The unofficial ringside expert, unofficial scorer, Romney Alvarez. And we are at ringside, folks. Both fighters move to the center of the ring as John Coyle calls him to the center of the ring. I am okay, Bubba Husky. Hope you are well, too. Coyle asks Lennox Lewis and his corner any questions. They say no. He turns to Angelo Dundee, asks any questions from the Damiani corner. They say no. Coyle says touch gloves and come out fighting. The fighters touch gloves, go back to their corner, and now they await the bell scheduled for 15 rounds of boxing in our heavyweight tournament. The winners shall advance to round number 2. This is bout number 23 of the tournament. And here's the bell for round number 1. There's the bell, both fighters off their stool, probing with their jabs, center of the ring, circling one another. And Damiani lands a quick 2-punch combination. Good punches, quick. And Lennox Lewis comes right back, and that uppercut hurt Damiani. That was the last punch. Lewis opens up with a 1-2. Damiani backs up. Damiani ties up. Coyle breaks them. Under a minute 30 to go, Lewis's power already comes into play. Lands a huge shot. Left hook was the one that did damage. Damiani blocks those balls, and Damiani backing to the ropes comes off, firing a 1-2-3. A good round of action here at Wembley. Damiani digs to the body, goes to the head, and moves away, pecking with that jab all the time. They tie up. 15 seconds left in round 1. A solid round here for both, and there's the bell. I give an edge to Lennox Lewis for his punching power. Damiani absorbed the blows well, but you could see he was stunned. First by the left hook, and then by the big right cross. He did fight off the ropes well, throwing quick combinations. But I give a close round to Lennox Lewis, 10-9. So 10-9 Lewis. After round number 1, the fans are loving it here at Wembley, cheering for their countrymen. Let's go to the unofficial scorecard. And Alvarez also scores it 10-9 for Lennox Lewis. Quickly to the Lennox Lewis corner and Emmanuel Stewart. Stewart says, good job. Keep working off that jab. Galvin gives Lennox Lewis a sip of water, as Lewis is fighting as a slugger. Let's go to the Angelo Dundee and Francesco Damiani corner. And Damiani's also fighting as a slugger. So this could be a quick, violent bout here, favoring Lennox Lewis. Dundee very happy with the quick hands of Damiani. Says, watch out for the right hand. He says, throw ones and twos, 1, 2, 3, and get out. And regroup. On the inside, clutch, grab, and punch. Try to walk him back. Let's go to the punch stat numbers. It was a very close round. I gave it to Lennox Lewis for the punching power. Lewis landed 19 blows. Damiani landed 19 blows. Lewis landed punch of choice, 6 crosses. Also landed a good uppercut and an excellent left hook. Damiani basically worked off his jab and threw combinations. We prepare for round number 2. And here's the bell. Both fighters off their stools. Lewis is going to fight on the outside defensively, looking to counter. As Damiani comes in, and he gets whacked with a 1, 2, 3, 4. The uppercut wobbled Damiani. Damiani ties up, coil breaks them. Lewis looking to measure. Damiani comes back with a quick combination, steps away, and he's countered once again by Lennox Lewis. Big left hand. Lewis comes back with the right cross. Damiani starts to back up. Lewis pursues, but now moves away. And again catches Damiani on the way in. Damiani ties up. Big round here for Lennox Lewis. Referee coil breaks them. Under a minute to go. Oh, a huge go-home right cross. Just missed from Lennox Lewis. Good defense by and Damiani catches Lewis walking in. Down goes Lewis. It was that sneaky little uppercut. Lewis quickly up as he was more caught off balance. They're up to 7. He takes the mandatory 8 count. Under 20 seconds to go. Lewis covering up. Damiani just probing, misses with the right hand, and there's the bell. Holy cow, Francesco Damiani snuck in that little quick uppercut on the inside, caught Lennox Lewis off balance, but it did hurt him. He went down, as when he got up, he was covering up. So Lewis, again, who has been stopped twice in his career like Damiani, and that is a surprise, folks. Sometimes when you get caught on the button, you go down, and Lewis got caught on the button and he went down. So an excellent round for Lennox Lewis now becomes a 10-8 round for Francesco Damiani due to the knockdown. Wow. The fans here at Wembley are in shock, as well as this radio announcer. 10-8. Knockdown scored by Damiani wins him the round. Again, it was a quick little uppercut on the inside. His punch of choice on the inside. He doesn't really like to fight on the inside. Let's go to the unofficial scorecard. And Rami Alvarez also gives it. Wow! He scores it 10-9 even with the knockdown for Damiani. So he has it even. I give it 10-8 for the knockdown. But that's his choice. Quickly to the Lennox Lewis corner, and Emmanuel Stewart saying, watch out for that punch, you got caught. And Emmanuel Stewart must be thanking God that Damiani is not a big puncher. Remember, Hasim Rotman knocked Lennox Lewis cold. I think that was with an overhand right, though. Lewis would come back to knock him out in the rematch, as well as when Lewis got stopped by Oliver McCall, would come back and avenge that via stoppage. So Lennox Lewis, who was fighting cautiously on the outside to counter. Damiani, a little quick step, got in on the inside. Lewis tried to counter. Damiani was first with his with the hand speed. He just got off first. Down went Lewis. We go to the Damiani corner. Angelo Dundee very happy with the knockdown, but not happy with the punishment that Damiani is absorbing. Damiani has been fudded with a lot of big punches. He has stood up to them well. Again, Dundee in Damiani's corner, telling him to work everything off the jab. Everything off the jab, Francesco. Quickly to the punch stat numbers. And then on to round 3. The crowd is still abuzz. Lewis landed 24 punches. Damiani only landed 13, but he scored the knockdown. Again, Lewis was having his way with Damiani. And got a little lackadaisical as he let Damiani sneak in on the inside. Really didn't think anything of it. And Damiani threw that short punch to the body and that quick little uppercut to the head. And he hit Lewis on the button. Lewis went down. We move on to round number 3 now. Both fighters off their stool. And here's the bell for round number 3. Lewis looking to work outside offensively. And Damiani with a 4-punch combination as he counters Lewis beautifully. He's fighting on the outside looking to counter. Those punches were blocked by Lennox Lewis. Lewis missed with the jab. Damiani comes back with a counter. Damiani looking to move and counter. 2 minutes to go. Damiani ties up on the inside. Damiani again throwing the jab, and a big combination by Lennox Lewis. Damiani felt that, starts to back up, hands up. Lewis gets through with those 2 thudding jabs. Lewis opens up on the inside, pushes Damiani away again, looking for distance. A minute to go here. Damiani comes back with a 1-2, another close round, but the bigger punch is definitely scored by Lennox Lewis. 45 seconds. Lewis misses with a big left hook. Damiani misses with a counter. 30 seconds. They tie up. Coyle breaks them. 15 seconds left in round 3. And there's the bell. And Lewis lands a 1-2 at the bell. A good comeback round for Lennox Lewis. Damiani did show fight in him with quick combinations, but it doesn't seem like he has anything to hold off the hard-punching Lennox Lewis. Again, Lewis went down in the second, but definitely Lennox Lewis is the bigger puncher. Damiani's hand speed has surprised Lewis and the ringside fans and scribes. So that is a 10-9 round. I give it to Lennox Lewis. And I have it even due to the 2-point round for the knockdown. And let's quickly go to the unofficial scorecard of Rami Alvarez. He also gives it 10-9 Lewis, but he only gave Damiani a 10-9 round in round 2, where I gave Damiani a 10-8 round, so he has Lewis up 29-28. Quickly to the Lennox Lewis corner and Emmanuel Stewart, and Stewart's very happy with the excellent proficiency that Lewis displayed in round 3 using the jab and his heavy punching. Damiani again showing spirit with quick combinations. Galvin some light end swell work around Lewis's eye. Lewis takes a swig of water. Now we move to Angelo Dundee and Francesco Damiani's corner. And Angelo saying, more jabs, more jabs. You're doing good. More jabs. Watch out for those hard punches. I mean, this is about what Francesco Damiani did in his fights. Quickly to the punch stat numbers. Joining us at ringside, Dog Sidious, all things Star Wars and entertainment. Check out that wonderful channel. Punch stat numbers before we start round number 4. Lewis landed 25 punches. Damiani, 19. Lewis worked beautifully off his jab. Landed 4 big combinations. Punch of choice for the power, hook, left hook, and right cross. Damiani worked off his jab and hooks. It was basically a 1-2, 1-2. A couple of combinations got in there. So a close fight as we move into round 4, but it looks like Lennox's Lewis power will be the determining factor in this bout. Damiani has been much better than most ringside scribes anticipated. Here's the bell for round number 4. Both fighters off the stool, center of the ring. Damiani is going to look to get on the inside. That could be a big mistake as Lewis and Damiani are going to stand toe-to-toe. Lewis lets his hands go. Damiani backs up a bit just to regroup. Both fighters probing, pawing with their jabs. They tie up on the inside. They wrestle. John Coyle breaks them apart. 2 minutes to go here. And again, Lewis lets his hands go on the inside. Damiani felt those punches. Damiani still trying to get on the inside. Hands held high. And they tie up. Coyle breaks them. Under a minute 20 to go here in round 4. Slowest round of the bout. A lot of mauling and brawling. Damiani digs a couple of shots to the body. Under a minute to go. Damiani ducks under a big left hook, misses with the countering shots on the way up. 25 seconds left in the round. It's been a slow-paced round. And Lewis, as I said, that lands a three-punch combination. The last one, an uppercut snapping Damiani's head back at the bell. A good, solid round for Lennox Lewis. Damiani chose to fight on the inside. I believe that was a bad mistake. Neither fighter proficient on the inside, as Damiani was looking to clutch, grab, and punch and walk Lennox Lewis back to the ropes. Never could do it, as Lewis, when he did throw, hit Damiani with hard thudding punches. The last one, a thudding, snapping uppercut. And you could see the sweat and water come off Damiani's head as it snapped back. I give that 10-9 Lennox Lewis for round 4. 10-9 Lewis. And I have it even after 4 due to the 2 points for the knockdown scored by Francesco Damiani in the second. Let's go to the unofficial scorecards. As Alvarez, for Title Bout Championship Boxing, also scores it 10-9, but he has Lewis up by 2 points. As he only gave Damiani a 10-9 round in round 2. Quickly to the Lewis corner, and Emmanuel Stewart. Al Galvin again, some light end swell work, and some grease around the face. Emmanuel Stewart very happy, he says, keep it up, champ, keep it up. We're going to break him down, chopping down a tree. That's all it is, chopping down a tree. You go to Francesco Damiani's corner with Angelo Dundee. You can see the concern in Dundee's face, but again, this is what Francesco Damiani does. I think they should revert back to fighting on the outside behind the jab. That would be this boxing announcer's opinion. Damiani takes a swig of water from Eddie Aliano. No nicks, cuts, abrasions to report for either fighter out of the ordinary. Just the regular wear and tear in a pugilistic contest. We go to the punch stat numbers before round number 5. A very excited crowd here at Wembley Stadium in England to see their countryman Lennox Lewis and the pugilist from Italy, Francesco Damiani. Lewis landed 19 punches, Damiani only 6, as he was highly ineffective on the inside, Francesco was. Lewis let his hands go. Await the bell for round number 5. And there are the fighters, center of the ring once again. Damiani probing with that jab. He throws a 1-2 and misses. Good defense by Lewis. Lewis didn't counter. Both fighters throw. Damiani got the better of it. Damiani backs up looking for space. Misses with a left hook. Now moves away again. Damiani probing with the jab. They tie up. Lewis tries to rough him up. Coyle breaks them. Under 2 minutes to go here in round 5. Again they tie up. Wrestling, mauling, brawling. Coyle breaks them. A 1-2 by Lennox Lewis. Both fighters probing with their jab. Probing. They tie up. The fans start to boo. A lot of mauling and brawling now. Lewis backing Damiani up. Damiani slides off the ropes. Under a minute to go. A 1-2 off the ropes by Damiani. And again, working off that jab. 30 seconds to go. A very close round. They tie up. Neither fighter works. They break on the advice of Coyle. Well, they throw punches at the bell. They land simultaneously. Damiani got the better of it. Wow. The action came towards the end of the round. Those final combinations by both fighters as they threw simultaneously. And Damiani got the better of it. So Francesco Damiani hanging around. He takes a close round 5 in my opinion. Working well off his jab. So Damiani takes round 5, 10-9. Fans here at Wembley getting a little anxious. They thought Lennox Lewis would blow out Francesco Damiani. A lot of money on the early knockout. Under 7, I believe it was. So if Damiani is KO'd in 7 or under, you're going to hear a big cheer from these fans here at Wembley. A lot of money on that. As we prepare for round number 6, I give round number 5 to Francesco Damiani. It was close, but I give it to Damiani. 10-9. Let's go to the unofficial scorecard of Rami Alvarez, and he gives it to Damiani 10-9, so he has Lennox Lewis up by a point. 48-47. I have it even. Due to the 10-8 round for Damiani in the round 2, he only gave it 10-9, Damiani. Quickly to the Lennox Lewis corner. And Emmanuel Stewart asks Lewis, "You okay?" And he says yes. He says, "And why did you take a breather, champ?" So he feels Lewis took the round off. He says, "I want you to be more busy, Lennox, more busy." Over to the Damiani corner and Angelo Dundee. Dundee says, "Let your hands go, work off the jab." And Eddie Aliano, some end swell work. Again, nothing to report from either corner for nicks, cuts, or swelling. Normal wear and tear. Punch stat numbers before we move on to round number 6. Damiani landed 20 punches. Lewis landed 17. Damiani worked off the jab through his combinations. Lewis, even though he landed 17, just seemed never to get in a rhythm. Damiani was able to keep him off balance. As we prepare for round number 6, very close fight here at Wembley. Here's the bell, round number 6. Both fighters off their stools, center of the ring. Again, probing with their jabs. Lewis throws a 1-2. Damiani parries them away and counters with a 4-punch combination. Quick with the hands. And Damiani wants to stay on the inside. Lewis digs 2 to the body. Lewis backing up. Damiani counters him. Lewis looking to take the round off. Damiani blocks those bowls. Comes forward. Lewis hits him with those shots, though. Damiani backs up. They tie up now. Coyle breaks them under 2 minutes ago here in round 6. No action. Both fighters probing. Lewis lands a good 1-2. Lewis looking to load up with the right hand. They tie up. Very close round. Lewis with a slight edge. 20 seconds to go. The round's up in the air. Lewis seems to be taking a breather this round. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. And there's the bell. Lewis throws and lands right at the bell. So Damiani did some good work early, but faded at the end. Lewis takes the round with that big combination. Another close round, but the harder punches come from Lennox Lewis. Lewis was able to pace himself in that round. At the end, opened up and took the round. So I give round number 6, 10-9, Lennox Lewis. Damiani faded towards the end of the round. Let's go to the unofficial scorer from Title Bout Championship Boxing, Rami Alvarez, and he gives it 10-9 Lewis. He now has Lewis up 58-56 after 6. The big edge in punching power has really come out in this bout. Ironically, the only knockdown was scored by Francesco Damiani when he threw that cute little uppercut on the inside, hit Lewis on the button. Lewis was up at the count of 3, took the mandatory 8 count in round 2. And Lewis was winning that round. Let's go to Lewis's corner. Al Galvin, again working some end swell. Emmanuel Stewart says, "Now we want you to start opening up, champ. You took your breather. We want you to start opening up. Fight's way too close." Over to Angelo Dundee in the Damiani corner. Again, why they choose to make him fight on the inside when that is not his proficient skill. What he wants to do on the inside, if you've never seen him fight, is he will throw 2 punches, he will grab onto you, and he'll try to walk you back to the ropes. What surprises a lot of people when Damiani was fighting was his hand speed and his physical strength. He was not a hard puncher. Angelo Dundee says, you got to be more active. You can win this, kid. You can win it. Punch stat numbers before we start. Round number 7. It's been an entertaining fight. There have been lulls in the action. Lewis landed 18 punches. Damiani 13. Again, he faded the last minute to 45 seconds of that round. Lewis really worked well off his jab, landing 7 of them. And that big combination at the end. Damiani has absorbed the punishment well. Again, Damiani working off the jab, but Dundee wants him to throw more. Here we go, round number 7 from Wembley. The winner advances to round 2 of our heavyweight tournament. Here's the bell. Round 7. Lewis quickly off his stool, looking to get to Damiani. He lands a 1, 2, 3, 4. Damiani looking to pace himself, hands up. Big right hand miss by Lennox Lewis. Damiani counters with a 4-punch combination, but the lack of power on Damiani's punches. They tie up, they break. Under 2 minutes to go. Both fighters probing with the jab. Lewis lands 2 quick, solid combinations. Come back with a jab on Damiani's schnoz. Again snapping Damiani's head back. Jab after jab snapping Francesco's head back. Damiani misses with a 1-2. Lewis, boom, boom. Hits him with another 1-2 combination. Another 1-2 combination. Damiani's in trouble. 15 seconds to go. Big left hook absorbed by Damiani. Coyle stops the bout. It is over. It is over. Damiani absorbed tremendous punishment in that round. The final blow was a huge left hook. Damiani's knees buckled. Coyle jumped in. He's seen enough. The fight is over, and the fans are cheering because the under was 7 rounds or under for the stoppage, and there was a lot of money on Lewis to stop Francesco Damiani. Under 8 rounds, and there's a lot of happy fans here. Not only did their countryman and favorite son win, but a lot of people just won a lot of pounds from the bookmakers here at Wembley. So Lennox Lewis heeds the advice of Emmanuel Stewart. He opens up and he TKOs Francesco Damiani here in round number 7 with only 9 seconds left in the round. Referee John Coyle had seen enough and wanted the Italian to take no further punishment. Damiani was on his feet when the stoppage occurred, as Dundee and Eddie Aliano attended their fighter, who's on the stool in the corner. Lennox Lewis, hands up in the air. Cheers from his adoring fans here at Wembley Stadium. He goes over to congratulate Damiani for a good effort. Shakes hands with Angelo Dundee and Eddie Aliano. So a big win by Lennox Lewis. Stoppage, round 7 with 9 seconds to go. You could see the punching power was going to be the difference in this fight. Damiani does what Damiani always did. Tries to get quick combinations off, work behind a very good jab. Not a big puncher. I mean, he wasn't a pity-pat puncher either, but he just was not a big puncher. And on the inside, I think that was the downfall. Had I controlled the strategy for Francesco Damiani, I would never let him fight on the inside in this simulation. He would always be fighting on the outside, most likely defensively, looking to counter and hopefully land some punches and take Lennox Lewis in the deep end. Both fighters struggle with stamina at times. I would have trained Damiani for stamina. Might have decreased the other strategies, or attributes, excuse me, but that's the way I would have done it. Even then, I don't think he might have lasted longer, but so a big win for Lennox Lewis. He advances in this tournament on the stoppage of Francesco Damiani. Let's go to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, John Coyle, the referee, stops the bout at 2 minutes and 51 seconds of round 7. Your winner by technical knockout, Lennox Lewis! And the crowd goes wild for their countryman and for the cha-ching that they won for betting on the knockout or stoppage under 8. There will not be a lot of happy bookmakers in the UK today. So Lennox Lewis will add his sim record now. He will go to 42 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 33 stoppages. Francesco Damiani, good effort, but he's out of the tournament. He'll now be 30 wins, 3 losses, no draws, 24 by stoppage. So the records are updated. Let's go to some stats here. We all love stats. Lennox Lewis landed 50 jabs. And at the end, he just opened up on Damiani, who was a human punching bag in round 7. Damiani landed 23. Lewis 25 hooks. Damiani 17. The crosses, and the cross to bear was the right hand that would land on Damiani's jaw for Damiani 38 times. Combinations, again, all punches in favor of Lennox Lewis. And again, when that happens and you're the harder puncher, you're going to win. Ironically, the one knockdown was scored by Francesco Damiani when he caught Lewis in that awkward moment. Both fighters looking to fight on the outside. Damiani took that little step in. Lewis came to him looking to dig the body. And Damiani with a quick left to the body and then quickly up to the head. And he hit Lewis on the button. Lewis went down. A flash knockdown was up at the count of 3. Lewis landed almost 50% of his punches, 49.7. Damiani did land over 50% of his punches. So Damiani was highly accurate when he did throw his punches. Damiani landed approximately 13 punches a round. Lewis 24. Punches thrown. Lewis was a much busier fighter. 342 by Lennox Lewis, only 190 by Damiani. Damiani landed 97, Lewis 170. Most of those. The big rounds for Lennox Lewis, obviously the TKO round. And the round he went down, he was actually winning quite handily. So Lennox Lewis advances. This was an entertaining bout, as Bubba Husky said at ringside. And Damiani gave it his all. This is about the way I thought it would go. The downfall comes to me with the sim engine choosing Damiani to fight on the inside. I want to say in 3 of the 3 rounds. It just made no sense. But the sim engine does what the sim engine wants to do. Again, I would not have done it that way. I told you the strategy I would have used. Would it have mattered? Probably not. We might have went longer or the distance. So let's check out, as always. Let's see how the judges had it, the official judges. Not that it matters. The fight is won by Lennox Lewis via the TKO in 7. Show the scorecards. So Mickey Van of England, he had it close. This was a close fight. He had Lennox Lewis up by 1, 57-56. And he gave Damiani, as I thought you should, a 10-8 round in round 2 for the knockdown. That's the standard scoring. Larry Ezzard only had Lennox Lewis up by a point. So they had it scored basically the way I had it scored. And again, he gave Damiani the 10-8 round for the knockdown. Again, all mute now. Damiani TKO'd. Lewis TKO'd Damiani in 7. And Tony Perez actually had Francesco Damiani up by 3, 58-55. That's a tough sell for me. At best, possibly even. But let's see what he did. Oh, he gave down. Okay, so the close 3rd round. Was it the 3rd round that was close? I think the 3rd round after the knock. No, that was a decent comeback. Oh, was that a close one? Yeah. So he gave Lennox Lewis. He did not give Lennox Lewis the 3rd round, Perez. He gave it to Damiani. And then he gave Damiani's 5 and 6. I gave round 5 as well as Hazard and Van, and round 3 to Lennox Lewis. Those were close rounds, but I thought Lewis's punching power gave him the day in those rounds. Doesn't matter. Lennox Lewis is the winner with 9 seconds left in round 7. He TKOs Damiani, who stood on his feet. He went out on his shield when John Coyle leapt in to save the Italian pugilist. So I'd like to thank Bubba Husky at ringside and also Dog Sidious. Hope you enjoyed the bout. That was bout number 23 in our heavyweight tournament. And always check out the channel as we have a plethora of content. The prior bouts are up on the channel. Very easy. Go to the playlist and just check out heavyweight tournament. So thank you to Bubba Husky. Thank you to Dog Sidious. Remember to check out Dog Sidious, all things Star Wars and entertainment. And we're going to have on Chat with Al tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time a very special guest, Comics with Bueller. And it'll be myself, Dog Sidious, OG, the original Grognard, and hopefully Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, with Comics with Bueller. So come with your comics questions and much more. So thank you. Till next time, watch out for that big left hook. Health and happiness. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless, and you know what's coming, folks. Peace!